All right. I'll share this with you, right? Later, I'll share this with you. And let's focus on the main areas, what I have focused here. You remember what I have done in this module? What type of areas I have covered? Okay, anyway, forget about that. In this module, what type of areas you have covered? මේ module එකේ මොනවාද cover කරපු areas ටික ඔයාලා? මතකද just topics from what type of areas they have discussed? I'm not only me but other lecturers. මොන areas ගැනද අපි කතා කරන්නේ මේ module එකේදී? Okay, forget about that. What is the name of this module? මොකද්ද මේ module එකේ name එක?
Logistics and transport.
Logistics and transportation, right? So we discussed about the logistics and transportation, especially transportation related areas, right? And with some kind of, that. So what is transportation? What type of transport modes available for the transportation? And some areas like modal split, right? So the application of the transportation, what I call that some kind of applications mean that system-based application in the transportation area, like that transportation management systems, right? So we discussed that part as well, and the transport policies kind of thing, some areas, right? Those are the things we discuss under transportation, right? From the perspective of logistics, that under logistic transportation we consider as one of the main element. And that warehousing is there, the procurement part is there. But in logistics, we mainly focusing on this transportation arrangements, and also we focus on some kind of minor areas as well. So anyway, under my part, I discuss about the transportation and the different transportation modes available, and especially the terminals, right? Transportation related terminals. What type of terminals we are using in the transportation, right? Under that terminals part, I discussed, if you remember, the port terminals, air cargo terminals, right? And the rail terminals, bus terminals, likewise. I just separated a different type of terminals, and I gave some kind of theoretical explanation and some kind of practical areas, so how we apply these terminals in the logistics. So I discussed that part as well. And also I focused on these, what I call that, if you remember, some kind of concept in this transportation, right? So economic of scale, economic of distance, like concepts, and how we can apply those concepts. And also the Incoterms time, like concepts. And especially if you remember the final lecture, I have focused on these the material, right? Material management. That is not the material management, but about the packaging. And also I focus on the equipments. What type of equipments you are using for the material? I can say that's a material management, right? I will just go through the most important parts. Right, so I'll repeat that most important part which I have focused on this exam. Right, if you just go through these slides, you can answer for 2 of my questions. Right, what is the configuration of the paper? I'm asking final paper, right? I think you have one compulsory question, possibly. Just I just have to go through that, right? So maybe 4 or 5 questions. This is an open book, right? This is an open book exam, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, better. Right.
Yes,
So open
book.
Yes, any question? I have some voices. Open book exam में कुणाम प्रश्न තියෙන්නේ that you cannot write a straightforward answer, right? ඒ කියන්නේ ප්‍රශ්න අහන්නේ නැහැ straightforward answer එකකට. ඒ කියන්නේ theories වගේ දේවල් focus කරලා, but you have to answer in practical way. You have to explain in with some kind of practical applications and using some kind of example. That's what we expect from this kind of open book exam. That's right. And එකයි open book exam එක තියෙන වෙනස අර normal exam එකට වඩා. Anyway, just go through the areas which I have focused, right? These 2 areas, if you remember, right? එතකොට මගේ part එකෙන් ඔයාලා දැන් questions දෙකක් එනවා කිව්වනේ. ඒකට සමහර questions දෙකටම answer කරන්න පුළුවන්. Maybe some of you may select one questions. එතකොට දැන් මේ මම දීලා තියෙන slides ටික go through කරා නම් you can answer, right? ඔයාලා answer එක දෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? Mainly, I discuss about the principles of economy of scale and economy of distance. මතකද මේ දෙක ගැන මම විශේෂයෙන් ඔයාලට කතා කරා. economy of scale, economy of distance. අපි මේක කියන economic of scale කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්, economy of distance කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්, right? How we apply this economy of scale and economy of distance in transportation. This is the area I have discussed with you. Can anyone say to me that what is economy of scale? Economy of scale කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Just forget about the transportation part, right? What is economic of scale? මොකක්ද මේ කියන්නේ?
You consider the
Sorry?
of the, you consider the weightage of the stuff that you are going to either export, import, and larger the lesser the weight, I think you charge larger the amount that you charge. So that kind of a concept is there in economic scale.
Okay, it's you are saying then the larger the volume, what will happen?
Economic scale means once we are increasing number of volume, the unit cost will be go down.
Yes, basically, yes, both answers are correct, right? Exactly. But to be specific, right? I will give the specific answer, right? In manufacturing, what happens if you increase the volume of production, right? So you can do it with long run. Long run productions කියලා කියන්නේ කියන්නේ එකම product එක long run නිකන් bulk විදිහට produce කරනවා. ඔය ගොඩක් වෙලාට කරන්නේ manufacturing companies නැත්නම් අපි කම apparels වගේ දේවල්, right? So same product they are doing the long run production. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? You can reduce the unit production cost. අර එකම product එකෙන් පොඩි ප්‍රමාණයක් manufacture කරනකොට වඩා unit production cost එක අඩු කරගන්න පුළුවන්. ලොකු bulk විදිහට කරොත් එහෙම. So same principle can apply when you are doing the procurement part as well, right? Procurement දැන් ඔයාලා මේක procurement MS එකක් නේ ඔයාලා කරන්නේ. When I do the procurement, if you place an order for the large quantities, you have experienced that it will reduce the unit cost. And when you apply larger the quantity, the unit cost will be reduced, right? The problem is how we can apply the same concept to the transportation. And theory ka hariyata oruwata ganna. And the same principle we apply in the transportation sector. So I showed you that there is one good illustration here. This is actually first one is from the manufacturing, but just focus on this graph. When you focus on the quantity of units, right? When you increase the quantity of units, it's gradually decrease the unit cost. That's the main concept, right? That is regarding, let's just forget about the manufacturing part, right? So we are going to apply this concept in the transportation part. That's what we are focusing on, right? Just focus on the ship, right? May ship එක focus කරන්න මෙන්න මෙතන picture එක. It says that large shipping companies can use ships that carry as many as good as 16 freight trains. It says that from using one particular large vessel, you can carry the cargo of the 16 freight trains. The freight trains 16ක විතර ගෙනියන cargo ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් one ship එකක ship එකක.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Slides are not visible.
Oh, sure. Sorry. I think I just not. Can you see now? You can see now, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Good. Okay, good. Thanks for reminding, right? Okay, you can see this picture here. It says that if you use one particular large ship, you can carry, right? While ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් freight trains 16ක load කරන cargo. දැන් මෙතන මේ principle එක apply කරලා තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද කියන එක. economic of scale කියන principle එක කොහොමද apply කරලා තියෙන එක තමයි අපිට තියෙන question එක. Right? Just focus on this picture. Sorry, this graph, right? You can see here, I mean, you can just example, practical example, real example. You can see the y-axis actually it's $1 per TEU per day. TEU එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? TEU එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? මම මේක කියලා දෙනවා. What is
20
TEU?
equal units.
Plus 20 footer
20.
equal units. අඩි 20 container එකක්. එතකොට මේ y axis එකේ තියෙන්නේ how many dollars you have to incur, it's a cost for transport 1 TEU per day. ඩොලර්ස් කීයක් යනවද එක TEU එකක් දවසකට ට්‍රාන්ස්පෝර්ට් කරන්න. මේක තමයි මේ y axis එකේ තියෙන්නේ. X axis is ship capacity in TEUs. Right? Ship එකක capacity. දැන් ships ගැන අපි කතා කරද්දී ships වල sizes තියෙනවා. different sizes දෙනවා. සමහර ships තියෙනවා 1500 TEUs ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්, සමහර ships තියෙනවා 5000 TEUs ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්. ඕමම range ගිහිල්ලා 10000 TEUs 20000 TEUs ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ ship එකේ TEUs ගාන ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් වැඩි වෙන ගානට ship එකේ size එක වැඩි වෙනවා. දැන් තියෙන්නේ maximum size එක 25000 TEUs ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් තියෙන ලොකුම ship එකේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අඩි 20 containers 25000 ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් එක ship එකක. ඒක තමයි ship එකේ capacity. ඒක හරියට for an example let's say that aircraft. In aircraft seats, right? For some aircrafts, maybe you have 200 seats. Some aircraft you have 500 seats. Like right? The ship pick up slots. Right? For an example, if you see when ship size increases, the ship size increase. For an example, you can see 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000. What happened to the cost? Cost means for transport 124 equivalent container in 1 day in dollars. What happened to the cost when ship size increase?
Unit cost will be go down.
It's go down. Then මෙහෙම කිව්වොත් එහෙම දැන් 5000 TEUs තියෙන නැවක් use කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ මම මේ graph එක විස්තර කරන්නේ 5000 TEUs ගෙනෙන නැවක්. ඒ කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍ය පොඩි නැවක්. පොඩි ship එකක්. ඒතර 5000 TEUs ගෙනෙන නැවක් අපි use කරොත් එහෙම එක TEU එකක් එක day එකට යන cost එක යනවා around අපි බලමු $16 වගේ. අපි මෙතන graph එකෙන් ගමු $16 වගේ. If you use 25,000 TEU vessel, the very big one, මොකද වෙන්නේ? It will reduce to the like somewhere here $8 වගේ වලට අඩු වෙනවා. You see the difference. That's why shipping lines they are trying to build bigger ships. ඒ කියන්නේ ships වල sizes වැඩි කරන්න තමයි try කරන්නේ. අර concept එක they are applying here. Right? Can anyone say that why it reduce the unit cost එක අඩු වෙන්නේ නැහැ? මොකක්ද reason එක? What is the reason? This is how economy of scale apply in the transportation. What make මෙහෙම තමයි apply කරන්නේ transportation mode එකකට. Can anyone explain how? දැන් මෙහෙම කියමු. Rail transportation, right? Rail transportation. Same principle applying the rail transportation as well. Economy of scale. Right? Then for an example, if you see that in the rail transportation, ticket price, same distance. If you compare the transportation modes available in the Sri Lanka, bus transportation, three-wheel transportation, whatever the taxi transportation, rail transportation available now, what about the ticket price? Which one is the cheap? Okay, the adu. මොන මෝඩ් එකේද අඩු මම. ඒ කියන්නේ same distance එක යන කතා කරොත්.
Trains.
Sorry.
Railway.
Rail transport.
Rail transportation is very low. So air transportation ticket price එක තාම අඩුයි. Why they can achieve that? That's why people they are more attracted to the rail service even in the Sri Lanka. But I'm not discuss about the quality of the service in Sri Lanka, but let's discuss in generally in the world perspective. In the world, the train transportation is very, very popular, right? Especially in the medium distance. So how they achieve that? The unit cost, the per passenger ticket price is cheaper than others. How they achieve that target? කොහොමද achieve
The-
that?
At a
the
low
cost
cost
of-
train.
Sorry?
The cost of transportation, sir, can be distributed over all units. That means all passengers.
Yes, exactly.
It
But
depends on it depends on with the fixed cost.
okay. Very good point, right? So very good point. I just focus on two answers, right? First answer is you can speed up the cost to each and every passenger. Then rail transportation the train passengers lagana වැඩි. Right? It's about the cost component and the cost components and the revenue. Let's focus on the cost. For rail transportation, you have to incur some cost, fixed cost plus operational cost. Why cost fixed cost plus operational cost. Right? You have to cover the cost part. The break even point you have to cover the costing part. The costing part cover karanna. For an example, if you use bus, taxi, to cover the costing part, they have to increase the price. They are transporting very small amount of passengers. But what happens in the rail transportation, they are transporting maybe 500,000 passengers per one train. Right? They can split up the cost among 5,000 passengers. Sorry, 500 passengers or 1,000 passengers. So what a passenger can unit price right? Again, strategy to attract the customers. It's a strategy customers attract because all the people they are like them. We like to travel in the train, right? Rail travel there are some reasons as well, the congestion kind of reasons as well, but in general, I'm asking, right? The other thing is the second answer, the fixed cost. Fixed cost take a same. And use fixed cost take a train same. Operation cost again variation. When we apply the same principle in ship apply growth. This is not about the passenger transportation, this is about the cargo transportation. Just focus on these ships. 2005, you can see in the 2005, maximum size of the ship, she can carry 10,000 TEUs, adivise containers, 10,000 ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්. So what happens in the 2020, it grows, I think almost doubled the capacity. 24,000 TEUs ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් එක ship එකක. So then, how you elaborate this by using the fixed cost and the operation cost? කොහොමද මේකට මේ නැව් දෙකට මම කියන්නේ 2005 එකටයි 2020 එකටයි fixed cost and operation cost එක කොහොමද apply කරන්නේ? What are the fixed cost?
The salaries of the ship's staff.
The fixed cost I'm asking, right? Fixed cost, okay.
Port charges, cost of the ship,
of
diesel
the ship.
cost.
Yes. Diesel cost, is it operation?
Operation cost, yes.
Operation.
That's
It's
operation
varied.
cost.
It's varied,
Yes.
right? Most probably the port charges can come on the fixed and the ship cost make a same. How they differentiate this from the size of the ships and the amount of the cargo on board. Then fuel cost very important point fuel cost operation cost the fixed cost just think twice, right? Okay. For an example, let's say that the ship is traveling same distance. Ekama distance for an example, Colombo to Rotterdam, Netherlands Colombo and ships දෙකක් මම යවනවා. එකක් මේ size ship එක 2006 10,000 TEUs ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් ship එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක යවනවා. අනිත් ship එක තමයි 24,000 TEUs ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් ship එක. මේ ship දෙක තමයි use කරන්නේ. Right? Then ඔය දෙක use කරොත් what about the fuel cost? කොහොමද fuel cost එක manage කරන්න ඔතෙන්ද?
There can be a little difference between two.
Which one is higher?
The larger one.
Why larger one higher?
That it consumes more fuel than the smaller one because of the weight and resistance that it faces in the atmosphere.
Yes. Theoretically, answer is correct, right? Theoretically correct answer. I agree with that, right? But what happens, keep in mind this, right? this factor. They apply the economics of scale technique to here, and also they develop the different thing as well. Technically, what they did, they improved the ship propulsion system. Ships වල propulsion system එක improve කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ අලුත් ships වල. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? The fuel consumption is lower than the previous vessels. කලින් තිබ්බ ships generations වලට වඩා fuel consumption එක අඩුයි මේ ships වල. right මම ඔයාලට explain කරන්න නැති අර liquid natural gas වගේ use කරන ships ගැන කිව්වා නේද මම මතකද?
Yes, yes.
ඒ වගේ දැන් methane අලුත් trend එක. එතනින් drastically reduce කරලා තියෙනවා fuel consumption. එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ අර කලින් තිබ්බ ships වල technology එකයි මේ ships වල technology difference එකක් කරනවා economic of scale advantage එක ගන්නම බලන්න. Because of that they are transporting more volume plus they reduce the fuel cost. මේක අඩු වෙලා තියෙනවා. right fuel cost එක operation cost එකක් විදිහට තමයි ගන්න කොහොමද right එතකොට අර point එක මතක තියාගන්න දැන් හුවත් බැරි වෙලාවත් ඔයාලගෙන් how this apply in the transportation sector just discuss with the shipping and what about other transportation modes කොහොමද apply කරන්නේ අනිත් transportation modes වලට what type of transport mode you can apply this one easily කොහොමද easily මේක apply කරන්නේ අනිත් modes වලට එක mode එකක් කියන්නේ
Railway.
railway exactly you can easily apply for the railway transportation railway වල easily apply කරන්න පුළුවන් because you know that rail transportation මම ගොඩක් ඒ ගැන කතා කරවලත් ඒක අර rail train එකක ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් trucks 500ක 1000ක ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් volume එක just one time in medium distance and the other thing is rail transportation compete with the shipping එක compete කරන අනිත් transport mode එක තමයි rail transportation එක for an example China to Europe you know that right China to Europe then China වලින් build කරන OBOR project එක one belt one road project එක so one belt one road project means they build a shipping route එක use කරනවා අපේ සේදමාවත කියන silk route කියලා කියන්නේ and also they have a train route to from China to the Europe through the Trans-Siberian Railway එතෙන්දී ඔයාලට පේනවා ඇති so they are going to compete with the shipping by using the economics of scale the method ඒ tool එක use කරන්න යන්නේ right so rail mode එකේ economic of scale එක use කරලා යාලා හැදුවොත් එimhe සාමාන්‍ය for an example 2000 3000 ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් trains තිබුණොත් containers I mean right so they can reduce the unit cost most probably compared to some ships even they can reduce the time component ඒ වගේ දේවල් පොඩ්ඩක් ඔලුවට ගන්න right okay so that's about the economic of scale right so what about the economics of distance මේ මොකද්ද මේ කියන්නේ
Longer the distance, the cost will be lower.
longer the distance the cost will be lower ඒක ඔයාලා experience කරලා තියෙනවද transport mode use කරද්දී which mode
Yeah, because
සර් highway එකේදී
yes මොකද ඔය කියන්නේ
අපිට තියෙනවනේ අර cruise control කියලා එකක් වාහනේ ඒ කියන්නේ එක දිගට යන්න පුළුවන්
okay
එතකොට අපිට අර මේ fuel consumption එක අඩු වෙනව නේද ඒ වගේ දෙයක් නේද මේක
exactly ඔය long distance car use කරනවා නම් ඔය long distance යද්දී අපිට ඒක ගොඩාක් ඒක experience කරලා ඇති short distance යන තමාට
and the other point, it doesn't touch any ports in between. So it doesn't have any requirement to touch any port in between, which is operationally costly. Yeah, shipping.
okay
Shipping or railway, or when it stops or when it berths, it costs.
yeah the different angle right you are seeing in the different angle very good right long distance යද්දී අර force ගන්න කියලා එක වෙනම angle එකකින් බලුවේ right okay basically what we experience the larger the distance what will happen the less the transportation cost per unit මේක මතක තියාගන්න cost එක කියලා කියන්න එපා cost per unit that's the word right larger the distance the less the transportation cost per unit of distance ඒකයි ගන්න right then then for an example, there's one particular theory in the port economics, right? Venom subject the shipping economics වගේ පැත්තක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම තියෙනවා එක concept එකක් ton miles කියලා. Ton miles කියලා කියන්නේ එක ton එකක් දැන් ඒ distance එක මානේ miles වලින් හිතන්න. කොච්චරක් transport කරනවද කියන එක. For an example අපි ගත්තොත් crude oil from Venezuela to China, how many ton miles? Right, likewise. එහෙම calculation part එකක් එතන වෙනම කරනවා. එතකොට longer the distance, what will happen to the transportation cost? They are going to reduce that. ඒක reduce කරන එක තමයි target එක එතන තියෙන්නේ. Right? කොහොමත් theoretically what happens, theoretically, not only theoretically but practically even what will happen, the larger the distance, transportation cost per unit, it's slightly reduced. මේ graph එකෙන් ඔයාලට ඒක පැහැදිලිව පේනවා. So why this happened? What are the reasons for this? If I discuss those reasons, I just put some of the points I have gone through, right? Mama කතා කරපු සමහර points මම මෙතන highlight කරලා තියෙනවා. Efficient use of capacity. What does it mean? Efficient use of capacity. Is it increased when you are going long distance? vehicle එකේ capacity එක use කරන එක වැඩි වෙනවද long distance යද්දී? Is there anything like that?
No, capacity remain unchanged, but you are going to use the entire capacity.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Capacity remain unchanged because the ship capacity or train capacity is same, no bus capacity is same. But the thing is that when you are going the longer distance, you have to use the possibly 90%, maybe 100% of the capacity. Ne? එහෙම වෙනවනේ. දැන් ඔය flights වල ගොඩක් ඕක experience කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔය සමහර ඔය දැන් flights වල දැකලා තියෙන දෙයක් මම දැන් ඉන්දියා වලට වගේ යන flights වල ගොඩක් දැකලා තියෙනවා. සමහර seats අර ගොඩක් empty යන්නේ. Short distance, 3-hour distance. Then Colombo to Delhi ගන්න flight එක. ඔක ගොඩක් හට දකින්න දෙයක්. If you travel to somewhere in Europe or somewhere in the Australia, so what about the seats, the utilization of capacity? In that routes, what happened?
Fully occupied.
Fully occupied. ඒක long distance වලදී fully occupied. Ships වලත් ඕක වෙනවා. ගොඩක් පැරලා තියෙනවා මම ships වල. Right? And fixed cost spread over longer distance. What is this? Fixed cost spread over long distances. What is this? You have a fixed cost and you spread over long distances. මොකක්ද කියන්නේ? Compared to the fixed cost, shorter distance and longer distance, what is best?
What are the
Can you
payments we are giving to ports authorities, like from the departure and the arrival? So this is like a fixed cost. So when it's going long distance also, the cost will remain same. So it will
Yes, most
transfer.
probably that part.
So
And also-
it is reduced per kilometer distance.
Yes, per kilometer distance. That's why always focus on the per kilometer, right? අර මෙන්න මේක හරියට ගන්න මේ per kilometer හරි per miles හරි per nautical miles හරි අන්න ඒ concept එක ඔලුවට ගන්න මේක විස්තර කරද්දී මේක ඇහුවොත්. හරි ගොඩක් දුරට අහලා තියෙනවා. හරි. Reduce per unit cost. You can exactly look at that. Unit cost එක අඩු වෙනවා. For an example, then තව මේකේ හොඳම එකක් තමයි හොඳම මේ point එකක් තියෙනවා. Important point, right? So, in long distance, more probably you are using very big vehicles. Right? In long distance, you are using big vehicles. Size එකකින් වැඩි vehicles තමයි use කරන්නේ. For an example, I can say that the capacity, high capacity vehicles. Ship එකක් ගත්තත්, train එකක් ගත්තත්, for an example, ගත්තොත් train එකක් ගමුකෝ. For an example, the Morocco to Peta trains, if you compare with the Colombo to Badulla trains, the Badulla train is longer, compartments very. Interesting. Right? So why you do that? Again, economics of scale link with this, right? And it will reduce the per unit cost. එතකොට economic of scale එකත් එක්ක economic of distance කියන එකත් link වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. What I said, the higher the distance, you are using very big vehicles. Distance එක වැඩි වෙන vehicle එකේ size එකත් වැඩි කරනවා. එතන relationship එකකුත් තියෙනවා, right? And scale of operations, what means that the scale of operations, the longer the distance, definitely you will ignore bulk shipments. Distance එක වැඩි වෙන ගමන් ටිකක් ලොකු shipments තමයි ඔයාලා යවන්න try කරන්නේ. එකපාර ලොකු shipment එකක් යවනවා. ඒතකොට ඒකේන unit cost එක අඩු වෙන එක තමයි වෙන්නේ. And also you are trying to better route optimization. This is another thing. And the fuel efficiency. If I talk about this, let's wait just. පොඩි මං example එකක් මට මේක හම්බුනේ මේ නිකන් just go through කරද්දී හම්බුන example එකක් තියෙනවා. I will just explain with that. Okay, let's wait until it's loading, right? So what about the fuel efficiency in long run? The last one. What happened to fuel efficiency in long run? Fuel efficiency in long run.
It is increased.
Yes. Same thing. හරි පොඩි example එකකින් අපිට ඕන කියන්න පුළුවන් දැන් කාර් එකක් වගේ example ගත්තොත් same thing or you discussed earlier as well, right? So long run එකේදී fuel efficiency එක වැඩි වෙනවා. ඒකයි වෙන්නේ. Then sometimes what I want to highlight some examples but not common. I can say that it's common in some areas, right? In shipping and aviation, what happens? The shipping lines in the long run, they used to use some kind of they try to add the advantage of some kind of geographical and natural phenomena. Can you again somehow advantage gonna try karna shipping lines and the airline? For an example, let's just focus on this route. Maybe route take balan. This actually from the this Japan to the west part of the USA west part. This is in red color. You can see this is we call as a great circle route. Make a route take air transportation, right? When they are going from the West America to the Japan, they are using great circle route. When they are coming back, you can see the green color route. This is actually long distance, right? Trans-Pacific long distance. When they are coming back, what happens? They are using the jet stream route. Jet stream route. This is actually natural phenomenon. Yes.
Yeah, I think atmospheric conditions play in favor of the jet, with like tailwind and the air pressure and the air temperature. What matters causing resistance for aircrafts.
Exactly. Are you in some air transportation?
Well, no,
So you have some experience, right?
I have.
Exactly. Right. This is what happens in some cases in the long distance transportation. Make a good long distance transportation. Shipping lines also they use what I call the underwater currents. Underwater currents, you know, samani kilometers. Samahar 500,000 lagi තියෙනවා කියලා ගොඩක් මට captains ලා කියලා captain කියලා තියෙනවා captain ships වල captain ලා. ඒතකොට එයාලා use කරන අය. Right, so it reduced the fuel consumption actually. Fuel consumption එකට තමයි මේක link වෙන්නේ. So long run වලදී ඔය advantages ගන්න පුළුවන් ඒවත් effect වෙනවා මේකට. There's another thing, right? Okay. Those are the two parts, right? If I asked to discuss about the economics of scale and the economic of distance, just focus on this theoretical aspect and also just focus on the just discuss some kind of practical applications in that two areas, right? Okay. Any questions on that? We have just 20 minutes, right? Okay, this one. Role of facility consideration in strategic distribution decision, the strategic and tactical levels. You remember that distribution. Again, අපි කතා කරා මතකද? You remember we discussed about the distribution in my second lecture.
Yes.
And we discussed about the different distribution channels.
Yes.
Example, Coca-Cola, Apple, again, examples.
Yes.
Right? Right.
with the pictures, yes.
Yes, right. In that slide, I discuss about this thing actually as the final slide and one of the most important slides. So how we what is the role of facility consideration in strategic distribution decision, and also the levels, two levels, in strategic level, in tactical level. කොහොමද මේ decision එක ගන්න strategic distribution decisions ගන්න. The thing is that in your organization, if you are planning for the distribution, right? Organization, like one of the most important operation is distribution decision. You can produce something, right? The inbound transportation part is there from raw material to the manufacturing plant. The other thing is that how you handle the distribution from the manufacturing facility or from the warehouse to the consumers or customers, right? You the right time, the right quantity, right? Logistical service කියලා තියෙනවා. ඔය part එක කරන්නේ මේ distribution active making. It's so that's why distribution is considered as one of the most strategic operation in organization, right? The thing is that how you plan this from the strategic level and the tactical level. So this is what I have discussed in that particular slide at the end, especially. In strategic planning, I focus here from the strategic planning level and also the tactical planning level. My planning levels දෙකේම කතා කරලා තියෙනවා. Right. In strategic level, top level නේ. හරි. එතකොට යාලා බලන්නේ මොකද්ද? Capacity requirements especially. Sorry, not capacity, capability requirements. Right? They have to check that the top management, they have to check that whether you have a capability requirements or not. May distribution එක fulfill කරන්න. For an example, you know that you arrange a distribution based on the demand, customer demand. The top level, they know what is the demand. Exactly what happens in the market. Right? Key the demand. You have to check that whether you have a capability of achieving these targets. Right? In that case, then capability can analyze කරද්දී, these are the things you have to focus. For an example, product attributes. So what type of product you have? So you need to have a basic idea, right? So what is the product? මොන product එකද මේ distribute කරන්න යන්නේ? And what is the attributes of this product? Attributes mean මොකද මේ attributes කියන product එකේ? What is attribute? Just focus on the distribution part, right? Distribution එකක් කරද්දී මොකද්ද මේ attribute එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ? For an example, fast moving, right? FMCGs කියලා කියමු. This is one attribute. Decoupling points කියලා තියෙන්නේ fast moving products තියෙනවා. සමාන products වල make to order products likewise. So product එක මොන වගේ product එකද? මම එහෙම කියන්න පුළුවන්. I can say that dairy products. This product is dairy, perishable type products. Right? ඒකට how you arrange the distribution, whether you have a capability. So you have to check that from the strategic level. That the vehicle requirements, everything you have to identify, right? And the flow requirements means especially the distribution channels I have discussed. Right? Our distribution channels discuss kala තියෙනවා වලත් එක්ක. Just focus on the distribution channel. What type of distribution channel you can use, right? And the roles to be fulfilled. What type of role you have to fulfill? The role means what is the expectation of your customers? Maybe the online. The customer can be place an online order. Maybe he's into the e-commerce sector business. And top level එකකින් ගන්න decisions ටික තමයි එතන තියෙන්නේ. Right? After that, gradually you are moving towards the tactical planning level. Right? In somewhere middle, you have to do the network designs and you have to address to the network design related issues. What we call as a network here, the transportation network or distribution network. Then networks හදුවනේ අර මම කිව්වේ distribution channels කියලා ඒ තමයි networks ටික. So you have to address to the network issues වල. Make a theoretically, if you plan, you cannot operate theoretically. No, you have to face to many issues. Issues එනවනේ, right? Issues නැත්නම් අපිට එතන job එක apply කරන්නත් බැහැනේ, right? What type of issues you have to address? Inventory related. Where you portion your inventories, number of facilities, how many facilities you have to incorporate, maybe warehouses, right? Locations of facilities and the facility ownership. Especially you have to focus on the inventories and the other facilities. right? Inventories means, you know, that what is inventory? That is basically the cargo or your product, and the facilities means most probably warehouses and the transportation facilities, right? Where to locate your warehouses, right? And the ownership, especially, maybe you can own or you can subcontract. Maybe you can use the third party facilities, right? So you have to face many issues here, right? So positioning karati, kohida position karanne, mon locations, or you have to focus on the customers' locations, right? Where customers locate. You can go to the customer base. Likewise, how many facilities? 3, 4, like that. And location, which locations, right? Inventories. So where you have to keep this inventory, this product, this warehouse, this product for this warehouse. Likewise, it's like this is actually the questions, right? So many issues sort of focus on, you know. Ultimately, the facility consideration at the level of tactical planning, okay, and I can say that is very close to the operational planning, right? Size of the operations, interior layout, the production location, product locations, right? So it's then now you have a facilities, then you have to focus on the interior layout of that particular facility. You can say that warehouse. What should be the layout? How the layout warehouse? Size of operation. If you are going to do the cross-docking operation, how much? How many units inbound, outbound, right? You have to define that. The size of operations, right? So you have to identify that part as well, right? That comes under the facility consideration at the tactical planning level. So just focus on the capability requirement, network design issues, and the facility consideration. These are the 3 areas you have to address in this facility consideration problem, right? Any questions on this? Or clear?
Sir, facility consideration, can you elaborate a little bit more?
Third one, right?
Yes.
In second step, what you did, network design issues. You identify the issues, right? Inventory positioning, number of facilities, right? After that, when you sorted out the issues, you have some kind of facilities, maybe 3 or 4 warehouses, and you have inventories inside those warehouses, and you define the ownership models as well. You own or outsource, right? Finalize second step. Third step, what you are going to do, the facility consideration. Now you have a warehouse and you have inventories. How you place that inventory inside the warehouse? Warehouse layout layout මොන locations or the මොන product locate කරන්නේ, what type of racking systems you are going to use, what type of equipments you are going to use, how many receiving bays you are going to use, cargo in a base kiyak use කරනවද, dispatch base kiyak use කරනවද, what type of operation you are going to do, the cross deck operation එකක්ද, cross docking operation එකක්ද, ඒ කියන්නේ cargo එක පැත්තෙන් එනවා අනිත් පැත්තෙන් move වෙනවා, ඒ වගේ operation එකක්ද තියෙන්නේ, එහෙම නැත්නම් වෙන ස්පෙෂල් ටයිප් ඔපරේෂන් එකක්ද, රීෆර් කාගෝ හැන්ඩල් කරන ඔපරේෂන් එකක්ද, ඒ වගේ ඩිෆයින් කරගන්නවා. කියන්නේ warehouse එකේ layout එක ඩිෆයින් කරගන්න එකේ ඉඳලා operation flow arrangement, receiving, storing and the dispatch flow arrangement එක ඒව ටික, right? And the size of operation, what scale, how many units you are going to operate in this particular warehouse, ඒ ටික ඩිෆයින් කරගන්න එක තමයි මෙතෙන්දි කරන්නේ. Facility හදාගත්තට පස්සේ facility operation.
Is there something else I can help with?
Got it?
Yes, sir, understood.
All right. Let's say another one, right? Then about the packaging, right? Packaging part. Packaging part එක ගැන කතා කරද්දී නම් මම අර කිව්වා වගේ මේක කරද්දී ඔක හිතන්න පුළුවන් මේක is a very small part, actually nothing, that's just we can put some product inside the boxes and we call it packaging. අපිට එහෙම කියන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් packaging කියලා කිව්වම ගොඩක් අය හිතන්නේ එහෙම. But I teach you that even the packaging, it's kind of some engineering area, right? From packaging you can reduce the supply chain cost. Right? And if we focus on the importance of packaging optimization, right? and how this packaging optimization involved in the supply chain management as a key element, right? What we call as a package optimization, for an example, you can discuss, right? It's actually, if you talk about the holistic view of packaging solution, right? I can say that what is packaging optimization? Right? The optimization කරනවා කියන මොකක්ද කියන එක ගැන බැරි වෙලාවත් කතා කරන්න වුණොත්, you can say that it's talk a holistic view of packaging solution, right? You are talking the holistic view of packaging solution. You have different packaging solutions, but you are talking about the holistic view, the bird eye view, right?
This is where you are
Design,
using
sorry,
engineering. This is where you are using engineering support for that.
yes, definitely we had to use the engineering support. Right? That's why I mentioned that there are particular engineers actually focusing on the from the material side, right? Material side, design engineers right now. තොට යාලා තමයි ideas වෙනම generate කරලා ගන්න. It's like that. Right? It's a holistic view of packaging solutions, designing containers. Container කියලා කියන අර container එක විතරක් නෙමෙයි, shipping containers විතරක් නෙමෙයි, container එකක් කියලා කියන සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි ඔය box එක කරත් container එකක් කියලා කියනවා. It's like that, right? Designing container that use the least amount of packaging materials. You have to use the least amount of packaging materials because you know that packaging material is costly. And if you use more, it will increase your cost. That's the thing. Least amount of packaging materials for the least amount of money while maintaining necessary quality. The important thing is the material you are using. You have to use the least amount and reduce the cost of packaging. You can manufacture and cost but you have to maintain the necessary quality. I showed you some kind of examples even in my lecture, how some companies, they design their packaging by using some kind of recyclable materials. Just here you have to explain about the advantage of packaging optimization, especially if you optimize your packaging, it definitely reduce the packaging cost, right? The one thing, and simplify the transportation because the packaging should be compatible to the transportation. That's why containerization is most popular in the intermodal transportation. Because the containerization can packaging. It's very popular in container transportation. We cannot survive without containers now. That's the thing, reality, right? And the cheaper shipping, right? If you optimize, it means the cheaper shipping. Packaging optimization the cheaper shipping එකත් එක්ක relate වෙන්නේ. Yes. Shipping වල charges කරන ක්‍රම දෙක මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? මොනවද අපි charge කරන shipping වලදී?
Volume base.
Volume
and
base and weight.
weight.
Volume based cargo charge का very good. Volume based और charge करता है मैं question again. If you have a big packaging without some kind of optimization, we are charging for that particular packaging का charge कराना. That's the thing. Especially in the air transportation. So if you design the packaging, packaging special design කරලා ගත්තොත් ඒතකොට සමහරවිට for an example weight එකත් එහෙම දැන් packaging weight එකත් අතර මේකත් add වෙලා gross weight එකට charge එක වදිනවා. It's not good. Right? If you optimize you packaging එකක් හදුවොත් මම පොඩි item එකක් ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඒකේ shape එකට මම අර කලින් වාට පෙන්නනවා මේක. ඒකේ shape එකට packaging හදලා weight එක අඩු materials use කරලා ගත්තොත් එහෙම මේක achieve කරගන්න පුළුවන්. That's why they are using that. And decrease loss due to damage. Yes, definitely you can prevent damages if you have a proper packaging and better delivery experience. This is very important. Better delivery experience means you experience this with courier shipments. The courier shipments වගේ දේවල් වල ගත්තොත් මෙන්න මේ better delivery experience එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. So you see that how they use the packaging, right? Different sizes, different. ඒක හරි attractive courier business. මේ packaging කියන එක වෙනම area. They are charging for even the package. Yeah, package එකනේ charge කරන්නේ යාලා. This size this much, this size this much likewise. These are the advantages of the packaging optimization, right? So what is packaging optimization? These are the advantages you can achieve by using the packaging optimization. So these are the two areas you are focusing on mainly regarding the packaging. Right? ඒක අර holistic view එකයි ඒක දුන්නට පස්සේ මොනවද ගන්න තියෙන advantages ටිකයි ගැන කතා කරා නම් මේක ගොඩක් දුරට successful, but the thing is that you have to bring some kind of examples, right? For an example, මම එක example එකක් ඔයාලට කිව්වා. The containerization, for an example, is one packaging, and you know that there are the packaging ගත්තොත් එහෙම palletization is the number one. I think I showed you the pie chart and I showed you the palletization is number one, which share the higher percentage, right? And courier business, e-commerce, how they apply. Just go through this some example, right? Just Google and search how e-commerce they use packaging, right? Guys, if you have time, just go through that. Even in the exam time, you can search, right? I don't know. And key considerations for packaging optimization, right? If you are going to optimize packaging, while packaging optimization, what are the considerations you have to focus? What type of considerations are there, right? Most importantly, you have to focus on the product characteristics. What type of product we are going to arrange and optimize packaging. දැන් අපි shoes ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඒකට වෙනම style එකක් තියෙනවා. Milk powder වෙනම. Some kind of machineries in different types. Phones different. What is the product? You have to identify the product characteristic. Not only the shape of the product, but you have to identify the some kind of attributes like perishable type. Right? සමහරව perishable. සමහර ඒවා වගේ තියෙනවා සමහර soap වගේ දේවල්ගේ smell එක ඒවා. ඒකත් බලන්න සමහර වෙලාවට. Right? Some spices වගේ දේවල් නම් ඒක වෙනම කතන්දරයක් එතන තියෙනවා. Electronic items සමහර ඒවා heat sensitive. You have to focus on that as well. So especially මේ ළඟදිත් container එක issue එකක් ආවම මතකයි port එකේ ඒ container එක ගිනි ගත්තා. ඒකේ issue එකක් තියෙනවා packaging issues. Because especially what I observed in shipping, දැන් ඔයාලා experience ඇති in shipping වල ගොඩක් ඔය dangerous cargo වගේ දේවල් ගත්තම packaging ගැන ගොඩක් care කරන්නේ නැහැ. I don't know what is the reason. Maybe the rules are not strict in shipping. Rule strict මදි ගතියක් තියෙනවා. මේක හරිම අනිවාර්යෙන් බලන්න ඕනේ. But air transportation, if you do the air freight, 100%. හරි. අර dangerous cargo වල තියෙන rules 100% monitor කරනවා. සහ forwarders ලත් ඒක හරියටම මේ කරනවා. මේ class එක මේ විදිහට pack කරන්න ඕනේ, මේක මෙහෙම declare කරන්න ඕනේ. ඒක හරියට air transportation වල I don't know. අර plane එක පිපුරුවොත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් වෙන හින්දාද ship එක පිපුරුවොත් මුහුදට හරි දාලා බේරෙන්න වෙන හින්දා දන්නේ නැහැ ඒක කරන්න කියලා. shipping වල පොඩ්ඩක් ඕක ඔය product characteristic එක dangerous cargo ගැන කරද්දි පොඩ්ඩක් ටිකක් අඩුයි. Right? And shipping method, මේක මම කියපු එකට link වෙනවා. shipping method, air transportation, road transport මොකද use කරන්නේ? For transport this cargo, what type of method use? Shipping na? Maybe when you are doing the packing, just focus on sea water වලට damage වෙනවද? එහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මොකද containers දැන් පොඩි දෙයක් වාට කිව්වොත් එම container එකක් ship එකට load කරද්දි මට කියන්න බලන්න ship ඒ container එකේ door එක තියෙන්නේ මොන පැත්තටද ship එකේ? door එක face කරන්නේ මොන පැත්තද? නැවේ ඉස්සරහට නැවේ පිටිපස්සට.
ඉස්සරහට.
door එක face කරන්නේ මහන්නේ.
පිටිපස්සට.
පිටිපස්සට face කරන්න ඕන. මොකද නැවේ ඉස්සරහට යද්දි එනවනේ මේ water වතුර එනවනේ. ඔය නැවේ පිටිපස්සට තමයි door එක face කරන්නේ අපි. ඉස්සරහට face කරොත් වතුර යනවා container එක ඇතුළට. යන්න පුළුවන්. අර ඒකේ තියෙන gaps වලින් යන්න පුළුවන් පොඩි පිටි තියෙනවනේ. wind එකත් එක්කනේ. ඒතකොට එහෙම තිබ්බදී සමහරවිට ඔය නැමුද යද්දි වතුර ඇතුළට යන්න ඉඩ තියෙනවා. මොකද ඒක අපිට කියන්න බෑ. So එතකොට මොනවද air transportation නම් වෙන ක්‍රමයක් තමයි කියන්නේ. ඒවට අදාළ ක්‍රම තියෙනවා. ඒ විදිහට කරන්න. Rail transportation, truck transportation, based on the method you can change, right? And environmental factors also you have to consider. What type of factors are there? Heat sensitive and sometimes snowy, rainy. You have to focus on this as well. And the cost component you have to focus. Cost component එක focus කරන්න වෙනවා. මොකද packet optimization එකේදී you have to reduce the cost. Right? What type of material you are going to use? You have to think about that part and the size. Right? Everything you have to think. and especially sustainability. You know that sustainability is the most important economics, environmental, and the social factors. When you're doing the packaging, you have to focus on that part as well. I showed you one example, then one company, they produce their packaging by using some kind of material, natural materialize that mushrooms, okay, they will use color packaging color. They are focusing on actually sustainability, environmental side, and even it generates some kind of jobs to that some people. So social පැත්තෙන් harmness එකක් වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ environment එකට. Environment එක harm වෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. You have to focus on the sustainable aspect as well if you are focusing on the optimization. Right? You have to, when you're focusing on the packaging optimization, these are the key considerations. Right? All together in packaging, you have to discuss about these areas. Right? What is packaging optimization? What are the key considerations for packaging optimization, and also the advantages you can get from the packaging optimization. Right? Just bring some example from the industry. This company, how? Likewise, I gave some example by trying to add new examples as well. Some are a lot of new alut examples. Right. The final one, objectives of material handling and how container shipping industry is due to achieve these objectives. This is another thing. Right. I told, as a last part, I discussed about the material handling, right? I explain kara material handling කියන මොකක්ද, and also even how container shipping apply this. Right, I discussed those two parts. Especially what happens here, for handle the materials, you are using equipments. Material handling already, we are using the equipments. Right? So what are the objectives? I will not go through each and every objective, especially if you are using equipment to handle some kind of material. Equipment can be some equipment you are using in the warehouse, right? Some equipment you are using in the port and the airport, in the air cargo. All of the equipment use karana, right? One thing, you are going to lower unit material handling cost. Material handling cost try karana, right? And you are trying to increase storage capacity, right? And you are going to increase the productivity. Then, for an example, if you are using the equipment in the port, definitely you are trying to increase the productivity. Productivity වැඩි කරගන්න තමයි බලන්නේ. Right? Equipment utilization එක වැඩි කරන්න. Right? And you are trying to contribute to the improve the quality and to avoid the damages. ඒකත් අඩු කරගන්න බලන්න. Right? මෙන්න මේ වගේ objectives ටිකක් තමයි material handling වලදී තියෙන්නේ. Right? So this is very easy, right? So how you apply these objectives to some kind of industry, especially if you apply this into the shipping, because shipping is the one of the most important area you are using for the equipment, especially in the port. Right? How you apply this in the shipping industry? I will just go through by spending couple of minutes, and these are the areas you have to focus. Right? Sometimes in shipping, you are using the standardized containers. Why use the standardized containers? Because if you use the standardized containers, it can handle by using the equipments in different transportation modes. Shipping, from ship, you can unload to the truck. From truck, you can unload to the train. Likewise. This is one application. Right? And automation and technology. Right? You can use the automation and technology, right? How it links with the material handling. කොහොමද මේ automation කියන එක material handling එක link වෙන්නේ? Right. I will explain that for that one, right? One of the objectives of material handling is increase the productivity. Productivity වැඩි කරන එකනේ. එක objective එක තමයි material handling වල productivity වැඩි කරන එක. What happens with the automation and technology improvements? එතකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ? Automation apply කරලා හරි technology එකෙන් හරි මොකද අපි කරන්න try කරන්නේ? by using automation and by using by improving the technology, what you are going to do to the productivity?
Increase efficiency.
You are going to improve, right? Automation and technology improvements cycle, productivity improvement try. Port operations then trend automation and the technological improvements are there. From those things, what we try to do to improve the material handling. Material handling improve. Right? That's the thing. Right. For an example, invest on advanced port infrastructure and equipment. Why we invest on to advance our infrastructure and improvement? To increase the productivity, one thing, and to increase the storage capacity, and also to lower the material handling cost. Infrastructure scale unit cost reduce. Right. And also environmental consideration also there. Right. So because we are focusing on some kind of renewable energy things, solutions. Cost try. Right. For an example, you can say that to lower the unit material handling cost. Yeah. Right. Some other examples you can discuss in that particular area. Right. Any questions on this? I just go through very quickly, right? I just need to explain 1 hour. Any questions on this? Or clear this one?
Yes.
All right, I'll share this with you, right? So I'll share with Nadune and she will share this with you. So then I'll stop here. So I just gave some kind of idea about this. And if when you are studying, if you have further question, just drop me a message, right? If you have further question, any clarification, just drop me a message. If you have doubt, not in the exam time, right? And I can just help, because since you are having exam in this Saturday, right? Very limited days you have. So all the best for the exam.
Sir, I have, this is not with regarding academic matter. Are there any, the passenger ship berth to the Colombo port?
Passenger ship?
Yeah.
Yes, we have one. One berth we have. But it's not sufficient. It's not sufficient for the seasons. Right? In seasons, sometimes we have to berth the passenger ships in container berths as well. Container berths choose passenger ship season and we had one plan to build a passenger terminal. Passenger terminal build plan. Right? The passenger terminal should be like airport. Airport facilities passenger terminal. We have a plan. Let's see.
Sir, I am asking the Mudita question that is there any passenger ship from India to Europe? Direct passenger ship?
No. Not to the port of Colombo. I think they had chartered.
No, from India?
India in the not directly.
ඒ කියන්නේ සර් කාට හරි ෂිප් එකක යන්න ඕන නම් යුරෝප් වලට ඉන්දියාවට ගියා කියලා සොලියුෂන් එකක් හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ.
කියන්නේ නෑ ඉන්දියාවට ගිහිලා ඉන්දියාවලින් යන්නද?
ඔව් සර්.
ඉන්දියාව මම හිතුවේ මේ කොලම්බෝට එනවා නෑ ඉන්දියාවලින් තියෙනවා.
ඉන්දියාවෙන් කෙලිම ඩිරෙක්ට් යුරෝප් යන්න තියෙනවද?
Yes, have. I think even you have from Singapore.
සිංගප්පූරු ඉඳලා යුරෝප් වලට තියෙනවා.
ඉන්දියාවලට යනකොට වඩා සිංගප්පූරු යන එක හොඳයි. සිංගප්පූරුෙන් තියෙනවා.
කෙලිම යුරෝප් කන්ට්‍රි එකකට යන්න පුළුවන් සර්?
Yeah. සිංගප්පූරුෙන් තියෙනවා. සිංගප්පූරු මම හිතන්නේ ඩිස්නි ක්‍රූස් වලත් හබ් එක සිංගප්පූරු. යාලක තියෙනවා. වෙනම පැසෙන්ජර් ටැක්ස් තියෙනවා.
එතකොට සර් ඒ වගේ මේ කොස්ට් එක එයා ප්ලේන් එකකට වඩා ගොඩක් වැඩිද?
Yes. I cannot Europe වල නේද අහන්නේ?
ඔව්.
මෙහෙමයි. ටිකට් ප්‍රයිස් එක අඩුයි but expenses වැඩි. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ටිකට් ප්‍රයිස් එක මම දන්න විදිහට එයාක්‍රාෆ්ට් එකට වඩා අඩුයි. but when you are in the ship, ඒක longer duration එකනේ ship එකේ ඉන්න එක. එතකොට ඔයාගේ
ඒ
expenses
කියන්නේ 1
වැඩි වෙනවා.
month 1 month වගේ ගන්නවද sir?
packages තියෙනවා.
ආහා.
food same inclusive.
ආහා.
අනිවාර්යෙන්
සර් අපි
වැඩි වෙනවා.
කොහොමද ඒක හොයාගන්නේ? ඒ කියන්නේ වෙබ්සයිට් එකක් මොකක් හරි තියෙනවද?
Yes, there's a website and I had one contact. Maybe I can check that.
සර්.
Can you put your number into the chat box, sir?
My number. Okay, wait. Wait. I can just type my number here, right? Course experience එකක් අතරම හොඳයි. ඒක වෙනම experience එකක්. හැබැයි ගොඩක් දවසක් හිටපුවම එපා වෙනවා. හරි. මේකේ නම එන්නේ. This is my number. Got it?
Yes sir.
All right, right. Okay, okay. Then I will stop here. And all the very best,
Thank
right?
you sir.
We'll not
Thank
meet
you.
Thank you,
again,
sir.
right?
Thank you very much for narrowing down. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.